Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. We'll go with our first caller. Let's go to Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. I really enjoy your show.
Thanks,
I was
Ashley.
actually calling regarding my mom. She has been diagnosed with tinnitus, and they believe that it's stress-induced. She's had a lot of tension pain in the back of her neck. She's been doing therapy, and it has relieved some of the tension pain, but now the tinnitus is almost debilitating to her. She has had an MRI that has been clear and with contrast and without, and she's just looking for any type of relief that you could offer.
Is she now? She's had the MRI and she's had some therapy done. I assume you're talking about physical therapy. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And has it helped, or just helped with the tension in the back of her neck?
It's just helped with a little bit of the tension. It has not helped with the tinnitus.
Okay.
The tinnitus came on after the tension. So.
It did. So what brought on the tension in the beginning? Did she have an accident?
No, just probably work stress.
So she does. She works a lot of hours. She do a lot of manual labor, or is it more just mental stress?
She's more mental. She's managerial, one of the top managers in her business, and so it's just primarily that.
Okay. Well, the tinnitus is caused by a couple of things, but I want to go back a little bit toward the tension that she's getting from the stress. Now, let's start there, because remember, it's the root cause, not just the symptom. The tinnitus is nothing but a glorified symptom, okay?
Right.
All right. So what does she do to take care of herself?
She is starting to get back into exercising right before this happened, and but that's kind of been by the wayside because she can't tolerate loud noises, and so and a lot of movement and sound, and even windshield wipers and raindrops bother her. So
Okay.
she eats a decent diet.
Does she get irritated? You said does she get irritated real easily? Does she have mood swings?
Not at all. Not at all.
She doesn't. So she's even keeled.
She very much so.
Okay. How's her sleep pattern?
She sleeps fairly well. She goes to bed around 10 o'clock and gets up around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Does she have a hard time sleeping, or does she have a?
Not typically.
Okay, good. There's just a couple of things that go along with that. That's why I'm asking all these questions. So, all right. First things first, got to change her lifestyle. Exercise is going to be important. The tension that she's dealing with is obviously a big deal, and that's because she's got a couple of things happening within the body. The adrenal glands are the body's stress glands. When they get stressed out and they get worn out, it increases tension in the muscle fibers, and that's why she's been getting the tension in the back of her neck. So by getting the adrenal glands to function better, which I know it's tough for her to eliminate the stress overall. I get that, because it is what it is. However, she can do some things to manage it. Just 30 minutes of working out, of some kind of exercise, will help reset the adrenal glands, and it's been proven to shut down cortisol levels that are naturally elevated when you go through a lot of stress during the day. So if she just walked, rode a bike, or swam, or did some little weight training, whatever she wanted to do, but I'd recommend 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, and no excuses. And when I say that is whenever we work with patients in any of the clinics, I always have a rule of thumb. Do you want to get well? If the answer is I'm not sure, then we can't really help you. But if the answer is yes, I'll do whatever it takes, no matter how hard it might be, then we can help you, because that person can get up at 5 a.m.
Right.
and go work out. You see what I'm saying? There's always time.
She would do what she needs to do.
Okay, good. Well, that's good, because that's going to be the first step for her getting her body where it needs to be. And literally, it doesn't have to be some incredible, intense exercise session, but she just needs to be consistent with it, and that'll make a big difference. So that's the first thing. Her eating is going to be really important. Is the tinnitus in her left or right ear?
It's in both.
Okay, in both. Then she needs to do two things. She'll need to come off all wheat products. If it's got flour in it, she needs to come off of it. There's a protein in the wheat grain called gluten. And gluten actually stirs up a lot of inflammation in the body, but it triggers tinnitus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's one thing she'll need to do. She'll need to come off it for at least 8 weeks. Takes 7 weeks for gluten to get out of the system. So she'll need to do that for 8 weeks, and she'll need to take manganese. Manganese is a mineral, and it's been shown, and we've seen it, that when there's a deficiency in manganese, tinnitus will show up in the left ear. Wheat-type allergies and gluten-type sensitivities will show up in the right ear. So those two are some of the triggers. Now, the stress brought it on, no doubt, but still she's developed some deficiencies. Building up the adrenal glands, pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5, along with vitamin C. Do a dose of that together in the morning and in the afternoon. That'll bring the adrenals up, strengthen those so her body can kind of cope and handle what she's going through, which, it's stressful. Now, physical therapy, is she done with therapy or is she still going?
She has 2 more weeks that have been approved, so after that we'll just see.
Okay, no, that's good. Have her finish that out. I think it's a really good thing that she's doing. And getting the nutrition is going to be important. But also, if the tinnitus has not diminished after you do this, now again, it's going to take, if it's got a chemical component to it, like the wheat grain I'm talking about, the gluten in there, that protein, if it does, it may take 6 to 8 weeks to resolve. This may not happen overnight. So just so you know that. So just be prepared. It may start slowly diminishing, but her stress levels are going to be the first thing she has to jump on. So see, that's what I mean. The lifestyle choices she makes are going to be important. The foods that she eats are going to be important as well. And in my book, Empowering Your Health, I've got a whole list of foods that you should eat and should avoid, and that's a great list for her to follow. Okay? All right. So get started on that. Have her go ahead.
Sorry, how much manganese should she take?
Twice a day would be good. And really, you want to do a liquid manganese too. It's much better. They make working on the upper cervical area in the neck, possibly doing some slight manipulation in that area could be very helpful because the cerebellum sits within the brain and the brainstem sits within and houses itself within that first bone in the neck. And sometimes that can be a neurological trigger for tinnitus. If the stress was bad enough that the muscles in the suboccipital area, that's the base of the neck, tightened and pulled things out of place, then something is going to have to put it back into place, and that's just more than strengthening the muscles. And that's why I'd be apt to send you somewhere like that and encourage her to get a consult. I think it'd be something that would be good for her. Okay. Thanks for the call. Questions about your health? 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call. The great news is, if you can lifestyle your way into getting sick, you can lifestyle your way out and get well. 80% of the health challenges we face today are diet and lifestyle related. It's good news because it doesn't matter where you've been. It matters where you're going, whether it's with your life or with your health. You're listening to On Call.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
That's 888-283-7272. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. You're listening to On Call, the show that's diagnosing hope one caller at a time. What are you struggling with tonight? What is your health challenge? Diabetes, heart disease, maybe a little bit of depression or anxiety, or maybe you have some hormone issues. Your testosterone's low if you're a guy, or women, you're going through some hot flashes. It's that time of your life, and you want to get things changed. You want to figure it out. You want to make it through that time of life, of menopause, and going into that smooth sailing. Well, you can. And the good news is, regardless of your health challenge, whatever it is, great or small, your body can change. If the body can get sick, it can always get well. That's our mantra, and it's true. If you look at the physiology of the body, It's amazing. As much as it can change for the worse, it can change for the better. And that's what we're all about, is help bring you hope for your health and for your life. And tonight, maybe it's not you that's going through a tough time with your health, but you know someone that is. And maybe they've been diagnosed with something, they're a little bit scared, don't know what to do. And really, they've talked to you about it, and they're not listening to the show, but you are. It's nothing better than being someone's health advocate and being their cheerleader, to be able to bring hope to their life and to bring joy and help them through a really tough time. That's what it's all about. So let us be your second opinion. Let us be a place, a landing pad for you. And in a time where a lot of people don't have health insurance, the good news is you don't need it for this show. We're just here for you, here to walk with you through your health challenges, through the tough times, and guide you a little bit, or maybe just be a soft place to land. Whatever you need, that's what we want to be. 888-283-7272. It's time to stop worrying, folks, and start living. Let's get healthy together, just you and me. Your answers are just a phone call away. You can also go online and send a short and easy to read email. I'll do my best to make it part of the show. Empowering your health. Let's go to James. Hi, James. Welcome to the show, my friend. How can I help?
Yeah, God, thank you. I'll continue to thank God for you and your ministry. It's none like it.
Thank you, James.
You know, this is my third time I've called you. Suffered from IBS for 15 years, and look like I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's great.
You've given me a lot of help. I've been on the inflammatory diet for the last 3 months. I lost about 20 pounds.
That's fantastic. Are you feeling better?
Well, I'm having a much better year so far with my IBS. I shouldn't say my IBS because I don't.
Yeah, don't say my IBS.
No.
No.
But IBS. Than I did last year at this time. It was even so bad. I was even in the hospital for about 5 days. This year I had a couple of bad days that it flare up a little bit, but otherwise it's been pretty good, thank God, so far. The last time I talked to you, you asked me about taking a test for my vitamin D level.
Yes.
And I took that. I told my doctor, and they was able to do that test for me. And my vitamin D they said it was lower. Came out 23. They said.
That's very low. It's very low, James. You want your vitamin D, the number, to be about 70 on that blood test.
Right, I know you said that.
Yeah, we've got to get that up. So I'll tell you, one of the best things to do is you want to get a liquid. They make a bioidentical liquid vitamin D that's very good. Usually about 1 drop equals about 1,000 units on that liquid vitamin D, and you want to do about 15,000 units a day for 90 days. So it'd be about 15 drops for 90 days. And that'll bring your numbers up to around 70, 80, something like that. Get a blood test done again in 90 days, and that's where you want to maintain it. Now, you shouldn't have to take that high of a dose to maintain those numbers. You'll be able to back it down to about 5,000 units a day once you get it to a certain level. But it is so important. Vitamin D, especially if you've been dealing with IBS, you'll notice a huge difference in the way that you feel and how well your body's absorbing just by getting your vitamin D levels up. Plays a big role. So that's the first thing. Do they check your iron levels and your B12 levels by chance?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
One thing that they check with, really puzzled me. I've been eating the organic eggs, and I understand the eggs supposed to help cholesterol. My cholesterol has been pretty good, but the last blood test they did was about 3 weeks ago. My bad cholesterol was up just a little bit, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's okay. Did your good cholesterol go up?
My good cholesterol was the last time was over 50, went down to 39.
That's okay. What's happening in your body is you got a conversion issue with the cholesterol, and one of the best things you can do, James, on that is to take nicotinic acid. It's a version of vitamin B3. Whenever that happens, and it does happen sometimes, it just means you're low in vitamin B3, but it's the cofactor called nicotinic acid. And that, if you take some of that for about a month or two, it'll flip those numbers back up. But you just want to stay on the eggs and keep doing that because it'll help maintain those good cholesterol levels. That's common sometimes. We do see that, so don't let that bother you or worry you. That can flip real easily. But I'm excited just that you're feeling better and that you haven't had the kind of flare-ups this year that you did last year and that your body's changing. That's the real key, and that's really exciting. The vitamin D, you'll notice a big difference. It plays a big role in your overall absorption in your digestive tract. But get the liquid. Because you have a tendency toward absorption issues with IBS, you want to make sure that you get that liquid vitamin D. I think it's going to absorb a lot better for you and work better. Keep the cod liver oil up. You know that. Tablespoon in the morning, tablespoon in the evening. And I hope you're continuing to exercise because that's going to play a big role in your overall success of getting where you need to be, James. And thanks for being a great listener. We're always here for you. Get started. I get your B12 levels and your iron check. Let me know what those numbers turn out to be here in several weeks. Okay, thanks, bud. Welcome to 283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call, where we're diagnosing hope one caller at a time. 80% of the health challenges we face today are diet and lifestyle related. The good news is you can lifestyle your way in, you can lifestyle your way out. You don't have to be your genetics. We'll be right back with more Healthy Talk Radio.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to AsaRx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Phone lines are open this hour as you talk about your health and talk about your life. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. You're listening On Call. There's a new article that came out. It says smokers now with cancer could quit and double their survival rate. That's pretty incredible. They said people with early lung cancer who quit smoking, they could double their chances of surviving. The new study says until now, there's been little proof that quitting smoking after developing lung cancer makes any difference at all towards survival. But lung cancer is now one of the top cancers worldwide, and the prognosis is very poor, especially if it's small cell cancer. And so you want to make sure that this said only 7% of the patients make it to 5 years, and only about 20% of patients diagnosed are early enough to be treated. So the message is that you should never give up, they're saying, on quitting smoking. It should be a goal of everyone, whether you have cancer or you don't. And at the University of Birmingham, they said in this study that even at the stage where you've been diagnosed with early stage lung cancer, if you give up smoking then, your body can still partially recover and your risk is reduced. Pretty incredible. Just to add to that, physiologically, about every 8 years, when the point you quit smoking, they found that in 8 years, you get a brand new set of lungs. So even if they found a very small cancer on your lungs and they were able to get it and contain it, remove it, whatever, and you were able to quit smoking, get rid of the habit, your body typically could regenerate in 8 years and get a brand new set of lungs. That's good news. That's the amazing way that the human body works. And it's pretty incredible stuff. Questions about your health, 888-283-7272. And sign up and go in. We've got a section on there talking about your success stories. We want to celebrate your success with you. So all you got to do is go on, can fill it out, tell us your story. And if you want us to make it a part of anything, we will. If you don't, you can mark a little box on there and keep it private. But more than anything, we want to celebrate it with you. We have our television show that's just got filmed, and we're filming new episodes, and we want people to be able to come on and talk about great successes that they've had. And we want to celebrate it with you. It's exciting. From losing weight to not having to take blood pressure medication anymore, or cholesterol has gone down, or your headaches have gone away, or you're just feeling better and have more energy, you're not depressed anymore, whatever it is, we want to hear about it. Every little thing counts when it comes to your health. Why? Because your health really is your greatest wealth. Let's go to Ron. Hi, Ron. Welcome to the show. How can I help?
Hi, how you doing?
Living well, Ron.
Yeah, my problem is I'll be 54 next month, and about 4 years ago, I had a physical, and the doctor told me my PSA levels was up. Told me to come back in 30 days. I went back in 30 days. They were normal. But every other year since then, they up. And I know they say you don't have any symptoms, but, I feel fine. I sleep all night. I don't have to get up, go to the bathroom. Everything's working fine, but my levels are still high, and now he wants me to see a neurologist. And I just wonder, is there anything I could do, at home as far as diet and stuff that would, help that?
Help with the prostate? Yeah, there's several things you can do, Ron, to help with the prostate. But let me ask you this. When you say the numbers have gone up, have they doubled in 1 year? Have they ever doubled?
He didn't tell me exactly what they were. He just said they was up. And he had me every 3 months. I had to go back and get my blood tested, and I did that twice. And this last time, he said, well, they went up a little more, but he wouldn't tell me the number. So now I'm scheduled to see a neurologist.
You definitely want to go see the other physician, and I would call your doctor and ask them to give you the exact numbers. You call the nurse at his office and just tell them to fax you a copy of your blood work and maybe the last 3 sets of labs that you've had so you can have the numbers yourself. What you want to look for, here's the pattern and the rule of thumb in medicine. If the numbers on a PSA double within a year's time, that's when it's worth looking a little further. If they're slightly increasing, then it's not that big of a deal. And the fact that he's sending you over to another physician, to a specialist, would indicate that it might have doubled, but I would want to know that yourself. It's important to learn these trends and learn how to read your own numbers. And always, no matter what, here's the rule of thumb, is you always want to know your numbers. So you always want to get a copy of your labs, and you always want to know your numbers. Don't rely on, it's fine, everything's good, don't worry about it. It's a little high, it's a little low. You want to know the numbers. It's important. So always keep a file at home of your blood work so you can look at it from a year ago or 2 years ago, and it's a good frame of reference to have, because blood work is a really, really good tool. 1,500 milligrams a day of saw palmetto and 14 grams, which is about a tablespoon, of pumpkin seed oil, and that little combination formula together helps form a healthy prostate. And regardless of what you've got going on in there, that's the protocol that you should follow from here on out. The good news about prostate issues, even if it were to turn into the big C word for any guy, and I'm not saying for you, but for any guy, the prognosis is very good. Typically, they're so slow growing that it's not too much to worry about, but that's typical. So I don't even want you to think down that route. I just want you to know and get the numbers yourself. Go see the other specialist and see what they have to say. The good news is you're not peeing through the night. That's really smart on your behalf to be thinking about that, and it shows that the symptoms are not that big of a deal. So get started with that. Find out what the numbers are. See what the other doctor says. And if you want to call me back here on the show, we can talk about it. But get started on that little protocol and getting your prostate healthy as we can get it. Okay, thanks for the call. Questions about your health, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening On Call. Don't forget, sign up for our weekly email newsletter, and also follow me on Twitter, because you can send tweets during the show. We'll take them, we'll email you back, or we'll actually make it a question right here on the show. Let's go to Bethany. Hi, Bethany. Welcome to the show. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I have just started reading your book, and I'm on right around chapter 10 or 11.
Okay.
But I'm 5 months pregnant, so I've been real curious as to...
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. As I've been reading your book, I've been real curious as to, everything, just changing everything, and how that will affect my pregnancy for the rest of the time.
Yes.
So I was reading about the artificial sweeteners,
And I've always been under the assumption or thought that saccharin was a bad thing. And so I've been, taking Splenda or, drinking aspartame in diet
my
drinks.
gosh.
Yeah.
Please. Have you been doing that while you're pregnant?
Yeah. And
Bethany, oh my gosh. I just want to reach through this microphone right here and just shake you. Oh my goodness.
So my doctor told me that I could have, one, let's say diet drink or aspartame kind of drink a day.
Oh my gosh. You can't, okay. Wow.
Okay, so there's more. So I've read your book, and I came across this last night, or 2 nights ago, and I thought, well, I've been doing way wrong. So I've been, the past 2 days, I've made sure not to have any aspartame, any of the bad sweeteners, and I had saccharin. I've had, saccharin and sweet tea or something. And then today I had a doctor's appointment and asked her about that, and she said that to stay away from saccharin. So I'm confused, and I want to know how much.
Don't be confused.
Okay.
Okay, because remember, for the most part, as far as nutrition goes, if you haven't read any updated articles as far as artificial sweeteners go, then if you're still stuck in the 80s or 90s on your research, then you're going to think saccharin's terrible and it causes cancer, and you're going to think aspartame and Splenda are great.
Right.
So here's the deal. Saccharin, if you'll notice, I don't know if you remember back in the 90s, but if you looked at the pink packets, they used to say causes cancer in laboratory animals.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Now if you look on a packet, it's not there anymore. It's gone.
True. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reason it's gone is because that study was a false study. And they found out it was a false study, and they removed it. Saccharin is made from a plant, and it's completely safe. Aspartame is a chemical, and you want to be really careful, because what can happen is people that there's a certain condition called PKU, and for some people that struggle with that, it's rare, but it can really, really mess their systems up. But the other thing is it can become a neurotoxin in the body, and it messes with your brain chemistry. But guess what? Whatever messes with your brain chemistry is going to mess with whose brain chemistry?
I know, and when I read your book, that's why I just freaked out a little bit. So.
Don't freak out. It's okay. Can't change the past, but we got to move forward. Okay.
Okay. Right.
All right. So let's get aggressive on what you're doing as far as to take care of that little baby, and we'll go from there. So you don't want to do the aspartame, obviously. You don't want to do Splenda, because Splenda is a brominated, chlorinated sugar molecule. And so when you put that in your body, it disrupts digestion. Not a good thing. Okay. Saccharin's fine, I would do this. Saccharin's fine, but I would do saccharin only when you're in restaurants. When you're in complete control at home, you want to go get Truvia. You want to go get Truvia or one of the new stevia products if you want to do the artificial sweeteners, because it's not artificial. It's actually considered called a supplement now. Stevia is, because of where it's made from. Tell you what, we're going to this break. Let's finish up on this topic of pregnancy in just a moment. This is On Call.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV.
Now and fill your needs. A lot of people wanting more information that we talk about here on the show, and we go through it a lot of times each night, and people don't catch things. So we're going to start doing a lot more articles for you to bring great health information to you. And also, you can catch things also at my book. And in my book, Empowering Your Health, it's a guide of natural medicine, of how to take you from point A to point Z. If you know nothing about health and what health is and how to attain and maintain extraordinary health, that's what I wrote the book for. And I encourage you to pick that up. It will teach you and guide you. So what are you struggling with tonight? Struggling with cancer or heart disease? Have you been given a bad diagnosis, or have you been given a good prognosis? Hey, we want to hear that too. That's what we're here for, is to bring great information to you so you can encourage others. Hey, it's not just about you getting well. It's about you teaching others so they can get well. It's about you teaching people and empowering others to live the life that they were designed to live as well. This is for you. It's for you to live your life. You know, a lot of people, there's great information out there, and we get it from all different angles. But it's important that we take the information that we get and apply it in your health journey, not lording over you and telling you what to do. Let's go back to Bethany. Bethany, we were talking about you being pregnant, 5 months pregnant, and you're reading in my book and got stumbled over a couple things when you started realizing that aspartame was not good for you, that it was actually bad for you, and you'd been drinking some of that and using Splenda, and you thought saccharin was bad. But now we're having a little chat talking about how saccharin is good. And more than anything, we're talking about how stevia is the better way to go. It is. It's made from a plant just like saccharin, and I'm just a big fan of it because it actually has a lot of benefits. Saccharin's just a sweetener, and it doesn't really hurt you. But stevia actually has a lot of benefits. It can create antioxidant type effects in the body, and it's very good. It has some fiber to it, so I'm a big fan of it. And that you could drink that all day long with no worries whatsoever.
Okay, great.
Have you tried it?
I have in the past, and bought some Trivia this week. So
good.
I actually like the stevia better when I had tried that before. So
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Well,
now the other thing too, since we're talking about changes, you know that everything you put inside your body is forming that little baby. So everything you put inside your mouth that goes in your body, whether you drink, eat, whatever, it counts.
Yes, I definitely know that, yeah.
Okay. So cod liver oil is going to be important, tablespoon a day, not just for you, but for the baby, but for the brain development. Okay. Now, are you taking folic acid?
Well, I'm taking, a prenatal vitamin that, most doctors say is fine to take, just over-the-counter prenatal vitamin. I was going to ask you if the Foundational 4 are fine for me to take. Go ahead and get the whole food multivitamin.
I would do the probiotics. I would also do the cod liver oil and the digestive enzymes.
Okay. Do they make a whole food prenatal, or is that necessary if you're taking a whole food multivitamin?
It's your whole food multi's fine, as long as your doctor approves it. Run everything by your OB. I think that's really important. Yeah, it is, and that's you just want to. Let me just tell you this: you don't need to take a bunch of things when you're pregnant, supplement-wise. Yeah. There's some basics. Here's the basics, okay? The basics that you want to take are the Foundational 4, which is the whole food multivitamin, the digestive enzymes, cod liver oil, and the probiotics. If you get tested with your blood work, which I think is smart, to see where your vitamin D levels are, it's good to take vitamin D during pregnancy. Okay. Because let's say you had vitamin D levels of about 10 when they should be 70. See, vitamin D is actually a hormone. It's not even a vitamin. So it plays a lot of key roles in the development of the baby, but also in your immune system, your personal immune system, which helps keep the baby safe. So there's a lot that it can play a real good role in, and I think it's smart to get a little blood test done to see what those numbers are, because you can take about 5 to 10,000, well, you probably want to take about 5,000 units, and that can slightly raise those vitamin D levels and keep everything where it needs to be. And that and folinic acid. Folinic acid is a version of folic acid that it's used in the first 4 weeks. Technically, you're supposed to take folic acid because it protects from a neural tube defect in the baby, and that's the only time it's really important for that defect. But it's good to take for your overall energy levels and maintaining good blood levels all the way throughout your pregnancy. So those are a couple things. I would avoid cow's milk, dairy, and I would avoid wheat products. I would avoid anything that has grains in it. Let me say this. I would avoid anything that has grains in it. When you get that monstrous craving, the kind of craving where everybody needs to get out of your way or somebody's going to lose an arm. Well, when that happens, you want to get gluten-free grain products. So breads, pastas, whatever, you need to make sure they're completely gluten-free. You do not want to put gluten in your body while you're pregnant. Here's why. The gluten protein that is in the grains can trigger autoimmune and can set a child up for autoimmune as well, because it's one of the number one triggers for into the DNA for autoimmune processes. And it's not just for celiac. We used to think that gluten was just a celiac issue, and that people with celiac sprue were sensitive to it, which they are. But we're also finding now that more of the adult population are really struggling with gluten, and it plays a big role. So for a lady that's pregnant, it plays an incredible role in the development of the baby. So please, if you're going to do grains whatsoever, please do the gluten-free, completely gluten-free, okay? Thanks for the call. Oh, and by the way, go off grains completely for 8 weeks. It takes 7 to 8 weeks for gluten that you've currently had to get out of your body. That's going to be good for the baby. Just follow the diet that's in the book all the way through your pregnancy, the anti-inflammatory diet, and that's going to play a huge role in how well you do and for the health of your child. Thanks for the call. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. Diagnosing hope one caller at a time.
Listen to the AsaRx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the AsaRx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.